I am not using the ASMR mic. Hello. Good morning to some of you. And good vibes and high tides to all of you. Good vibes and high tides. Good vibes and high tides. I'm Maeve Morveren, Globie Gen 3 Hexakai's older sister figure, and I am a conglomerate heiress Selkie. That's right. Business. I business. Hello. We're all good vibes and high tides here, and I am back to my usual self. Also, good evening to everybody who's about to fall asleep with me. Good morning to everybody who's about to wake up with me. Yes, I'm back to my usual self. Less energy. Can't believe, thank you for saying that I killed the intro. I can't believe, that the other day, sleepy usual self. I can't believe that the other day, I like sang, like with my whole Selkusi out. Selkiusi. I sang with my whole Selkusi out. Hello. Wow. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who's here for our ABO book read along. I know that a lot of people are not interested in it, but I thought it would be funny, so we're gonna give it a try. I was definitely belting some of those songs. It was a good karaoke. I had a great time. I drank a little too. You did your homework? Good for you. You went out and you checked everything that I mentioned? Yeah, I had a great karaoke, and I don't know, I was pretty happy. We went through a lot of really good, it's unarchived wink, you know what I mean? Meaning that I don't have monetization yet, so I don't have to unarchive it yet, but I will have to unarchive it. So before that, get your Maeve singing in. Speaking of, anybody been enjoying the shorts? Do we like this lullaby series shorts? Baby, you're like lightning in a bottle. I heard that you go out in a garden. Knowing that you thought of me unprompted. It's nice, they're good. Okay, I'm glad. I'm very glad. I tried to make a little playlist so that at some point you could just leave them on to go to sleep to. Oh my goodness, what is going on with me? You could leave them on to like fall asleep to or to listen to. That'll be like 8 hours plus. Yeah, thank you. And I also already have, I think, a request for the next one, which is wonderful. Yeah. It's gonna be You Are My Sunshine. I actually have, and this is a secret, okay? This is a secret little sneak peek. Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be singing in another language. Oh my gosh. What? Oh my goodness, what is this? Wait, you guys. Is your cousin double pregnant? No. Wait, I have to show you. This is kind of insane. I just got tagged in this thing. I just got tagged in this thing. Apparently, Hexakai made it onto Acapella Media's VTuber magazine. That's so crazy. What? So Acapella Media, Acapella EN, a VTuber magazine and media group driven by passionate fans with a focus on fun and positive events. And we got on it. I didn't know. They hadn't mentioned anything. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Thank you so much. It says Globie's, okay, Globie Gen 3 Hexakai debut. We're on page 11. There is a PDF version. It says Globie's third generation of talents, Hexakai, had some pretty big shoes to fill. However, the girls had no issue building an audience with model reveals and hints to their content during their pre-debut. Yeah, by the way, a lot of it was very, very difficult and was our ideas. Okay. I know they chose me for full display. I'm so happy. Okay. With support from their senpais and new fans, they were ready to present themselves to the world. The first day of debuts were held by Maeve Morveren and Skirmimi. Maeve is a Selkie heiress with a love for business, talk shows, and white-collar crime. Okay, well, you didn't have to mention that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She aims to be the late-night host of VTubing. Oh my goodness, they got me down pat. Screamimi, the snail spirit, brings an unhinged energy, opening her debut with a skit parodying the movie Scream and ending with bloopers and credits. Day 2 starred Sarah Luceria and Alilu Lulu. Sarah is a carbuncle, which is a fox-like creature who transforms into a beautiful woman after eating rocks. She showcased her love for ASMR and what the genre had to offer. Lilu is a dangerous woman, an amoeba. Amoeba. They said amoeba. She's an amabier, but essential. Okay, real already. Yeah, with a love of horror and stealing hearts with her infectious charm. Best wishes to Hexakai, and thank you to everyone who put in work to make this generation of Globie a reality. You have made something truly special. They said that so nicely. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Well, I retweeted it. So go tweet it. Go retweet it and go share it, will you? Go retweet it and go share it. That is so cool. I legit thought she was saying amoeba incorrect. No, she's an amabier, which is an actual, yeah, it's an amabier. That's so nice. I know. I can't believe it. Wait. Before we get everything done, I have to show the girls. Hold on. Hi, Ariel. Hello. Welcome in. Hi. I know of you. I don't know how to properly say this. I know of you. I've seen your stuff for a while now, actually. Welcome in. Well, thank you so much. I know, that was so cool. I'm so happy. Share it, everybody. Oh my goodness. I have to respond to them very quickly too. Thank you very much for showcasing us. This is so cool and we're so happy. This is so cool and I'm so happy that you got us down, that you were able to get me down quite pat. That is so cool. I'm so happy. That is yeah, thank you. Glad to have you here. Well, let me go ahead and say something first. Two things first before we go into our Bro and the Beast Omegaverse and Preg fanfiction. or not fanfiction, but a book reading, right? So the first things first, as people have asked, it is true, I will not be able to have merchandise for my birthday. Management has actually implemented something new, so only Square Mimi will actually be able to have birthday merchandise for out of Hexakai. Hi, Prop. Hi, Prop Studios. Hello, hello, welcome in. I think as we get towards my birthday, yeah, there's I do want to say I fought very, very hard. We fought very, very hard, and I can't say too much, but right. I can't say too much, but I will say that's quite disappointing. I am an adult, so it's not like me not having birthday merch is going to be completely heartbreaking for me. But also, it is a little sad. I'm not going to lie. And I was really hoping that some of you would get to enjoy it. I don't know I don't know how much, but that said, I would like to bring up once again that, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. So I'm not going to be allowed to have birthday merch, but did you know that Globie allows fan merch? That's insane. That's insane. I am a little sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that you're sad. I'm also very sad, and we tried to really say some things about it, and we tried to express that our communities would be sad. But they felt, yeah, they felt like it was, you know, maybe I'm new. I'm newer, you know. Do you have a I do have a throne. I do. My birthday's not until January 11th though, so if anybody who's definitely not thinking of making and having or selling fan merch in the future, you know, was thinking of it, like January 11th is my birthday. Yeah, I really would have loved to buy something like a desk mat or something, but maybe next time. It's unfortunate because next time could be a year and some, which is a long time for some people. It'll be past my 1 year, so it's quite disappointing for me. But we, I, I've expressed a lot of concern. I suggest trying to do digital merch during this stream, like checky signing for a dono amount. Wow, that sounds wonderful, actually. Checky signing. How do I do that? I also have considered digital merch, but unfortunately, and I had mentioned it, but unfortunately, management once again also doesn't want to, even for like a voice pack or something, didn't want to do that. So maybe we'll do it on our own, you know? Yeah. But my second thing that I want to say is some of you might have seen my tweet. I did tweet just a little bit earlier. Nothing too crazy and nothing intense. It just says, I'm really happy for all the support behind Hexakai. I love all my Hexakai girls and I love their communities. And I truly, truly do. All of my girls mean so much to me. I like being older sister figure to all of them. And I try to be there for all of them as much as I can, given, you know, that I'm traveling and I often have different time zones. All that said, I do want to remind everyone that, and I do want to say that this hasn't happened to me too often, right? But it is something that I do want to mention in the cases, because I think we all do know that some people are more open than other people's. And I do have a history of, you know, being more not safe for work, but I am happy for just being comfy here and now, right? So I do want to remind everyone that though some of us in our communities are a lot more open about things, not all of us are. I know that none of you, most of you, if any of you, have any problems with that. I've never felt, you know, uncomfortable with anything that you've said that I haven't already addressed before. But in the cases that I mentioned that, you know, for example, I am not outrightly not safe for work or a not safe for work creator. Do I speak sometimes? And do I once in a while say something about masturbating? Yes. And I love a good innuendo, okay? And I love some good fan art. I don't have anything against it. I do think at some point, maybe, possibly, you know, we could even have a designated area. But And again, none of my sweet Sealies or Pennies have had any issues with this, but you know, if others are to come in, I didn't want them to automatically think that I'm okay with certain things when I don't really want to speak on certain things, you know what I mean? And then I don't want to just ignore them. But once again, thank you so much for all of your supports on all of Hexakai, especially me, obviously, because this is my stream, but as of your support with me and all of Hexakai. And I love all that I watch most of the streams that I can. And I love all the communities, all the chats, you know what I mean? And so it's just one of those things I kind of just mentioned. Yeah, thank you so much. How am I doing that? Also, I'm sorry to hear that has been announced. I know that hope that everything goes well in the future. Yes, I do feel like it is a little unfortunate, right? But I think we've got good ways around it. Oh yeah, we're reading something great. We're reading something great. Yeah, of course. But if anybody, yeah, what do we, if anybody, like, if you mean like a digital checky signing, that'd be super cool. I'm like, I wonder how I'm gonna do that, right? Oh gosh. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'll do what I can to get you certain things, even if that means that I'm somehow getting, you know, sharing a voice clip or a voice pack elsewhere somehow. All that said, yes, today we are trying something a little different or new. I would pay for a Where My Hug At signed smug Maeve Checky. That's insane. Yes. Today we are doing something a little new. It is my very first read along. And I don't have very many of these planned, but I did hear about this book and I thought it would be interesting. And very, very funny. I thought it would be very interesting and very, very funny. And I thought it would be content for sure. So we have Bro and the Beast by Elsie Davis. It says, and Joel Abernathy writing Mpreg. Joel Abernathy writing Mpreg as Elsie Davis. So I think naturally, who's Joel? Is Joel Abernathy another author? Joel Abernathy. Oh yeah, Joel Abernathy is a different author. They are a trans author of MM romance, and they enjoy writing dark and emotional romance about men loving men. But now they're diving into a little bit of comedy, I suppose. Is it often that I read this stuff? Absolutely not. This is the first time I've ever read anything. Yeah, this is my first time that I've read anything that's LGBTQ at all. So this is very new to me. This is not my first time reading ABO. So if you guys don't know what ABO is stands for Alpha Beta Omega, and a lot of people also can consider it the Omegaverse. Let me look up the proper. So it's a subgenre of possibly erotic fiction that features a dominance hierarchy that is among humans, right? It's divided into alphas, betas, and omegas. So alphas are the natural leaders of the pack, typically more strong and aggressive and male leaning. Betas can mate with alphas, but their anatomy can not possibly just is not enjoy it doesn't enjoy it as much, right? Can make it a little painful. And omegas are supposed to be submissive and gentle and more maternal and nurturing characters, besides the fact that they're male or female, right? And usually omegas kind of do this thing where they like have a nest area and the alphas aren't supposed to go into their nests. And yeah, they're the ones that get pregnant. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, I want everybody to know. Never mind. I was gonna go into nodding, but I think we're not gonna. It's right, especially right after I spoke. Okay. Especially right after I spoke about not talking about not safe for work. Nothing. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I was going to help explain, okay? But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I do think so this book itself is told to be a book where a jock, this like alpha like jock, you know, the my daddy's a lawyer and not an attorney kind of guy, um falls into his little brother's book, and now he's the main character that is an omega. So he has to question not only his personality, but find a way out. It's an isekai. Oh, hi, Vance. Okay, you knew though. There's no way that you came in here and you didn't know that I was reading Bro and the Beast, an ABO Omega verse. Like, it's on the title. It literally says Bro and the Beast ABO read along. What do you mean? It says in the hi, Vance. Hi. Hi, thank you so much for raiding. Thank you. How was your stream? Hi, everybody from Vance's Raid. I want y'all to know that yesterday I did class attendance and we went through a Globie behavior chart, and Vance got yellow for okay instead of green for good because of you, because of the chat, because the chat was so willing to talk about panties and other sorts of things in your chat. You saw a small thumbnail and clicked. Amazing. Thank you. I love that I'm oh, thank you for considering me.
Have safety gear.
Sorry, they said this is definitely NSFW. Neither of those men have safety gear. No way. Vance was not talking about Omegaverse. Vance, were you talking about Omegaverse? There's no way. Hi, Cal. Hello. You serious? We have 2 days designated to this, and this is going to be the only book. Lies, you were talking about shipping though. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, there's only 2 days for this book. Okay, so if you don't like it, it's all right. Just be here for it with me. Hi. And this is the only book that I have for read along so far. All right, so bite the bullet. Have a great rest, Vance. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What's up, gator eaters? See you later, alligator and a wild crocodile. Hi, Vance. Thank you. Thank you. No, you're not. I think we're not the target audience here, but I think that you're gonna find it funny. Yes. Okay. So let's get started. Bro and the Beast, Part 1. Elsie Davis, Joel Abernathy. Copyrights, chapters. There's a Dear Reader. Can I go Dear Reader? Oh, go back. How do I go back? Go back. Okay, let's just get into it. Chapter 1, Brad. You're still reading that crap? Devin looks up at me from the hardcover book. Blaster with some jack dude with long flowing black hair and golden eyes that reflect the light whenever the moon turns even slightly. He gives me a familiar scowl. The Wolf's Mate isn't crap. It's a literary genius. But since it's not about some Gary Stu asshole who gets magically transported into his MMORPG harem of bussy goth chicks, I wouldn't expect you to get it. Oh my goodness, already? That is a lot of vocabulary. I snort, reaching over and snatching the book out of his hands. By the way, it says chapter 1 Brad. That means it's from Brad's perspective. Yeah. Hey, he cries, diving over the back of the couch in an attempt to grab it back. But I'm already halfway across the room. Devin and I are twins, but I still have a few inches of height on him. And twin brothers. And all I have to do is hold the book out of his reach. It's probably why he gives up immediately and just sits there with his hands on the back of the couch, glowering at me. You write ABO fanfiction because you can't do anything else. I'm happy for you. I have also written ABO fanfiction and read it and had that in my mind for specific moments in my life. Let's have a look at this literary genius I taught, examining the page he's on. I clear my throat and begin to read. Catalina froze like a... Oh, pardon. Catalina froze like a deer in the path of a wolf as Raoul stared her down from across the crowded room. And a wolf he was. The socialites gathered in the ballroom around them might not have known his true nature, but they were instinctively wary of the man's domineering alpha energy. Even in a three-piece suit fit for the black tie affair, he looked huge. His broad, muscled chest barely contained by the well-tailored fabric. His piercing golden eyes seemed to cut through her very soul like a knife, full of predatory intent. Her first instinct upon seeing him was to freeze in terror, but the searing lust that stirred within her loins was a far more self-destructive impulse. Oh, Lord. I did this to myself. I decided this. Oh, good God. More glowering. I raised an eyebrow at him. Yeah, this is some real groundbreaking shit. Just out of curiosity, how can a suit be well-tailored if the guy's busting out of it? Sounds like he needs to lay off the protein shakes. You're such an ass, Devin mutters, jumping over the back of the couch and stalking over to try to snatch the book out of my hands. I dangle it just out of his reach, unable to resist fucking with him. His eyes are the same shade of green as mine. They look a few shades darker in his rage. The physical similarities between us end with our dark hair and eye color. Ugh, love a good dark hair and eye color. He's still the skinny kid we both were in high school until I decided I was done getting bullied and put on a ton of muscle. He keeps his hair long and uses way too much product to keep it shiny, while I just use the same bar of soap I use to wash everything else and let mine do whatever it wants until it gets annoying enough to make a trip to the barber. Ew. Dude, using the same bar of soap for everything. If you can, there's a lot of people who do, and that's totally fine, but if you can, try not doing that. He coordinates his cable knit sweaters with his khakis and loafers, but when I'm not in my gym clothes, I just wear jeans and whichever t-shirt I grab first. Even for fraternal twins, we really are complete opposites, and those are just the physical differences. Come on, you're the nerd who was always reading books by snooty dead guys back in high school. You can't tell me you actually think this vampire shit is good. Oh, so it's vampire shit. Also, I love that he's so, like, I don't know, the writing for this has most definitely come out so quickly. It sounds very Mary Sue-ish regardless, right? It's like, well, I'm just, you know, when I'm not in my gym clothes, I just wear jeans and whichever t-shirt I grab first. It's like, that's a pick-me. That's a pick-me. Devin clutches his book protectively against his chest. You can like the classics and paranormal romance. It's not mutually exclusive. And it's shifters, FYI. Right. That makes it so much better. He rolls his eyes. Of course you wouldn't get it, he grumbles, walking over to the coffee table, grab his bookmark and tuck it lovingly between the pages. The loft apartment we share downtown is spacious enough that he has his part of the living room and I have mine, with a shared big screen TV in between. The TV costs a whole month's salary at the garage, but it was worth it since gaming is my preferred method of escapism. Hey, yo. Understandable, he's one of us. Kind of, sort of, low-key. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I demand, folding my arms. Nothing, he says with a shrug. Nah, you said it. Man up and finish the thought, I say gruffly. He heaves a bored sigh and leans against the couch. You don't have a romantic bone in your body, Brad. His name is Brad. His name is Brad. His name is Brad. Of course you think it's stupid. But not everyone's content with one-night stands and friends with benefits. Oh, but not everyone's content with one-night stands and friends with benefits. Oh, now who's judging? I'm not judging. I'm just saying you wouldn't get the appeal of escaping when you get everything you want in reality. I scoff a laugh. You serious right now? Am I wrong? He challenges. Women fling themselves at you like you're a fucking rock star, and your frat buddies worship the ground you walk on. You've never had to work for a damn thing in your life. Except maybe your abs. I'm gonna bite my tongue. Yeah, right. I guess I just spend half my time covered in grease fixing people's cars for the hell of it. I shoot back. So you work part-time as a mechanic, he says dryly. We both know as soon as we graduate, you're gonna go work some cushy corporate job for one of your Kappa Nu bros' rich daddies and spend your days fucking models and playing golf. Okay, the author has never been in a frat. You're so right. You're so right. They would never let the corporate job... No, I'm just kidding. If you've ever been curious about nepotism, I will let you know. My parents networked for me. My parents worked hard. My parents worked hard and they networked for me. Okay. And then they taught me how to network. There you go. It exists. I mean, it exists, but I don't really say nepotism. Okay, I'm gonna have a whole thing about this. I don't believe that nepotism is, I mean, I know that nepotism is a very blanket statement. I don't believe that nepotism is the worst thing in the world until they don't deserve it, right? Like if I couldn't perform at my job and I still got it just simply because of my parents, that's bad nepotism. That's terrible. If I got to do an interview easier than other people got to do an interview because my parents knew the other person, but I still interviewed for it, it wouldn't be as bad. I mean, it's a family business for me, so I don't know how to say it. My parents taught you how to network? Yeah, they forced me how to network. Why do you think I'm such a good drinker? Why do you think I drink a lot? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's hard, right? I mean, like it's hard because the blanket statement of nepotism truly is like, oh, it's when, you know, you have opportunities that other people don't because of, you know, of family members or people that you know or networking, stuff like that. But I mean, any kind of networking can create nepotism. But anyways, I'm not a nepo baby. I'm not a nepo baby. I was put through rigorous training and I'm still through rigorous training. That's why they cut me off. Okay. My liver can't open anymore. My liver can't improve. Heiress swears she's not a nepo. Hey, hold on. You've heard me talk about business. I know shit. I went to school and shit. I can, okay. I should not talk about this anymore. Oh, fuck off, I growl. So what if I use my connections to get ahead? I work damn hard for them, see? Instead of spending the best years of my life holed up in my room reading trash and thinking I'm so much better than everyone else because I don't even try to fit in. See? I worked hard for them. Yeah, we're moving on. Listen, I just happen to be a corporate heiress, okay? Jesus. At least I know who I am. I'd rather not fit in than change everything about myself just to become a fake asshole who looks and thinks and talks like everyone else. I mean, is that the reason that he changed? Or what if he wanted to change for the better? Keep telling yourself that, I say, taking a step toward him. You're always the victim, aren't you? Poor, special, unique little Devin. Always so misunderstood. If only some big, strong alpha male would come along and see you for the swan you really are. You ever stop to think maybe the reason you can't find a boyfriend is because you're the asshole? Maybe you're so convinced everyone else is going to judge you, you have to judge them first before you even give them a chance. Hold on, he has a point there. He has a point there. The moment the words are out of my mouth, I know I went too far. but the hurt in his gaze is immediately eclipsed by anger. You're right. I should just settle, like you. Settle for mediocre grades and meaningless relationships and friends who only like you when you're drunk. Okay. You don't... I'm not sure this is a good idea to write. To read. Ouch. Who wrote this? J.C. Lewis, I think. What they say? L.C. Davis. Not even close. I clench my jaw, trying to remind myself I can't deck the little punk because it wouldn't be a fair fight anymore, unlike when we were kids. Okay, maybe I have settled, but I'd rather settle for a reality I can actually feel and see and enjoy, instead of living in a fantasy world where everything ends in a happily ever after. He gives an exasperated growl. That's my fucking point! You don't get it. The real world bends itself around your whims, but that's not the world I live in. That world is hard and cold and boring as hell. And the few guys I do meet are either homophobes or closet cases who think I'm good enough to fuck behind closed doors, but not to be seen out on a date with in public. That's my reality. And yeah, I'm okay with escaping it once in a while to live in a better one. One where love is real and it's okay to be different and everything works out okay in the end. If you want to judge me for that, fine. I frown, realizing he takes this all a lot more seriously than I ever imagined. I don't really know what to say. I know I should say something, but I'm still trying to figure out what, and he grabs his jacket and his keys and stalks towards the front door. Hey, where are you going? I call after him. Out, is all he says before slamming the door shut hard enough that the shelf next to it rattles. For a second, I think about going after him. But when he gets like this, it's better just to let him cool off and apologize later. Everyone thinks I'm the one with the temper just because of the way I look. But at least I have an outlet. Dude, your outlet better be fucking healthy, my dude. If you say your outlet is something... I don't know. If your outlet is violence, I will destroy you. Without violence, because violence has never solved anything ever before in my life. I most definitely have never slapped somebody across the face for spreading lies about me. I sigh and collapse on the couch. Since I have the night off and I'm not due to meet the guys at the party for another few hours. I turn on the TV, but there's nothing on cable, and I've either watched all the good shit on our streaming channels or promised I'd watch it with Devin. Aw, so they actually are technically close. Yeah. Also, I love that this is like new enough that there's streaming channels, right? So this is a newer one. He's already pissed enough, so I reach for my game controller, but my fingertips brush the book instead. I glance over. I glance over at the muscular werewolf on the cover. Thanks a lot, asshole. I mutter. There's a part of me that's curious, though. I was kind of being a dick, and while Devin upped the ante, I was the one who started it. Maybe if I skim this book he's so obsessed with and at least feign interest, he'll be quicker to forgive me. I love my brother. I really do, more than anyone or anything. As different as we are, he's my best friend, and I don't want there to be this separation between us, especially not over something so petty. Me and my sister. I love my sister. I truly do. I truly do. Do I think certain things about her? Yes. I really do. Do I think as the older, I mean, I don't know, they're twins, so it's different, but as the older sibling, do I think I go through other kinds of trials and tribulations that may or may not be more difficult for others? Yes. It isn't like I'm meant to be an asshole. It's always just comes easily, like sports and keg stands. Okay, ew. I try starting at the beginning of the book, but my attention span is way too short for that. Real, same. So I skip ahead until I stick on some weird shit about alphas and omegas. It figures shifters would have alphas, given their proximity to real wolves and all that. But I'm pretty sure omega wolves are supposed to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. The way they talk about them in this book, they're just bottoms in a very different context. The main character is one, and there's some drama about her running away from her pack to escape a forced marriage to an alpha who sounds like a total douchebag. I can tell he isn't the love interest on account of how she isn't always thinking about his abs. Then enters the real love interest, another douchebag named Raoul, except that he has dreamy eyes and she likes his scent or some shit. Yep, that's there you go. Once somebody likes your scent. Okay, hold on. Let me get started with this really quickly. There is a thing about, like, truly, not in ABO, okay? But truly there's like a thing that's said about hormones, scents, and people liking them, and so what is that called? Pheromones. Thank you. Yes, pheromones. That, like, I don't know. Humans technically do have pheromones. As a Selkie, I don't. Right? It's different. But I heard that humans do have pheromones, and it does impact and affect people. As a Selkie, it's different. You know what I mean? I don't know. You let me know. The power of sniffa? Okay. Well, okay. They meet at a bar and lock eyes for a few moments that would have sent me packing immediately. Who just eye fucks a perfect stranger right there in the middle of the dance floor? She gets all lightheaded and her panties melt, though, because she immediately knows he's a shifter, too. And an alpha. I'm starting to think the sketchier a guy is, the greater the chance he's an alpha. The main character panics, since she's sure he was sent to bring her back, and she makes a beeline for the nearest exit. Except the club is totally packed, and some idiot is blocking the hall, and he freaks when she runs into him. He grabs her by the wrist and pushes her up against the wall. Capitan? Which no one else even bats an eye at because they're all fucking pussies or whatever. But the werewolf, I'm pretty sure qualifies as a stalker, comes to the rescue. He barely lays a finger on the drunk, but he eye fucks him in a different way. The way that he's saying all this is so bad. He's like, he probably like glared at him and he was like, yes, he's eye fucking. The guy skitters off, intimidated by his raw masculine energy or whatever. By this point, R.I.P. the main character's panties. That's why you don't wear any, my dude. My goodness. He gets all chivalrous and tries to make sure she's alright, but she excuses herself and flees the bar. As if a guy who spends that much time making sure his hair is perfectly tousled is just going to give up and leave it at that. She wants to call a cab, and by some miracle she actually makes it out to the parking lot without dicks for eyes bothering her. The whole time she feels like she's being watched, though. And yet, despite the fact that this chick is being pursued by like 30 different werewolves, she thinks she's just being paranoid. Pheromones are Maeve once threw a love potion grenade and rizzed 10 people. Then the grenade exploded. Pheromones are an interesting thing. There's a new type of pheromone being developed to make unruly cattle to behave while being treated and whatnot. It impedes the adrenaline of being liberated. There's a message somewhere. I'm so sorry. Did you just say that pheromones, which can cause signs of affection and love, impedes the adrenaline of being liberated? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that sentence is a whole message right there. Let me just tell you. Everything is going good until she sees flashing lights in the rear view on a remote stretch of the highway going anywhere away from the area. She thinks she's just got the worst luck ever, but the driver pulls over, and when the cop gets out, she holds her breath, hoping it's not the dude from the bar. And it isn't. It is, however, another shifter. A beta. But he's fucking huge. Bro eats iron nails for breakfast, and even though his eyes are hidden behind thick aviators, despite the fact that it's 11 at night, she knows they're the same honey gold she hides behind brown contacts. Okay, so they all have honey gold eyes. The driver's like, hey, I didn't break any traffic laws. And the cop looks back into the backseat and says he wants the main character to step out of the car. Okay. Now she knows she's definitely fucked. She's just not sure if this guy was tipped off by her crazy fiance or the also crazy but decidedly sexier dude back at the bar. He gets out of the car and decides to play it innocent, hoping he'll be on somewhat good behavior in front of the human driver. He tells her to cut the bullshit and says she has two options. She can come the easy way, and the human goes off to enjoy the rest of his night with a weird story to tell his buddies about the wanted criminal he almost transported across state lines, or the unpleasant way, the way that doesn't end so good for the human. No, one has piercing gold eyes. That's different. Yes, in the right doses, it can function both ways, as a calming agent or making someone hotter. Yeah, I mean, they say that when you're in love with someone, you fall asleep easier around them because you feel safe. You know what I mean? That's what they say. They say, I don't know. I just take a nap in the sun. The main character thinks about how she could shift. She has a pretty clean shot to the woods, and this dude is jacked. But she's smaller, and probably faster. So she has a decent chance to escape. Except she would have to call his bluff about hurting the human. And there's a damn good chance it's not a bluff at all. In the end, she reluctantly lets him put her into the back of the squad car, and he takes off, refusing to tell her where they're going. All he'll say is that he works for the creepy guy from the nightclub, whose name she learns is Raoul. It's just about to get to the good part as they drive through a set of huge iron gates and approach this mansion that looks like it's from an old film, when my alarm goes off to remind me about picking up drinks for the party, even though I brought drinks last time. Maybe just one more chapter. Ooh, he's getting interested? Brad is getting interested? Is that what it is? Your Selkie naps are like, that's what I'm saying. That's why every single time, I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but I'm not joking. I'm so Selkie that legitimately I've only one other time or two other times gone on stream without having just woken up. I just nap a lot. And I noticed that before I debuted, a lot of people were like, I wonder where she actually is, because it seems like she's up like random days or like random times during the day. Yeah, besides the fact that I travel, I just nap. I nappy naps and I yawn. So that is why it's good to sleep hearing to your streams. Now I get it. Aw, Leonardo, are you saying that you trust me? Are you saying you feel safe around me? Mysterious Maeve? That's my name. That's what I want to be. Apey. She's just a little apey. She's just an apey little dude. Alrighty. Chapter 2. Brad's perspective. One chapter turns into 5. And while I've always had a hard time slogging through my textbooks, it's like the pages just fly by. It's like I'm watching a movie in my head. What? Oh my god, is that what reading is like? And despite the fact that this bitch keeps making supremely stupid decisions that make me wonder if it's her first time outside of the house, I can't bring myself to stop. Come on, Catalina, what are you thinking? This dude is obviously some kind of serial killer. I mutter, flipping the page. I'm so wrapped up in the story that I barely notice the time until my phone buzzes with a text from Craig asking where I am. I pause for a moment, trying to remember what it was he wanted me to do. All my thoughts have been consumed by this fucking head movie thing. It's called reading. It's called imagination. Okay. One question after another keeps cropping up in my mind. If this dude is really such an alpha, then why doesn't he just challenge the dissenters in his pack to a drinking contest to assert dominance? True, I also would do that. Anybody who says I'm not shit, I always ask them for a drinking contest. Oh man. If this chick is a runaway Omega, how the hell has she not gone into heat before? True also. She mentioned she takes suppressants given to her by her pack doctors so the alphas back home don't go nuts. But she's been gone long enough to have run out by now, and that's not the kind of thing you can just pop by a CVS and buy. I love that he's like interested. He's like, wait, how come she hasn't been on heat? And then like she has suppressants, but blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? He cares. He's noticed. I mean, she has to have come across other werewolves since she's been on the road. You think they notice she has magical werewolf pussy if it's so fucking irresistible that this alpha douchebag can't keep his hands off her just because she's in heat all of a sudden because of his pheromones or whatever. I love this so much. I've never imagined Omega, like Omega's going into heat as, you know, magical werewolf pussy. And what the fuck is all this shit about his knot? No! No. And what the fuck is all this shit about his knot? How the hell does bro fit into a jockstrap that he's sitting down there all the time? Or is it just when he has a hard on? Okay, moving on. I've never been so invested in another guy's junk, unless you count that time stupid Steve decided to see if his dick would sink to a frozen lamp. I think maybe we should not read this. I think maybe we should do something else. I did not realize that. I did not realize that it was like this. I thought it was just the romance. I thought it was just the romance parts. I didn't think that I didn't think that they were gonna talk about the actual other parts of that. I did not think that. Let's see. Maybe I'll just skip through. Maybe I'll just skip through the bad parts, the other parts. Now we're turning up the heat. No, it seems apparently, what's her name? Catalina's turning up the heat. Have you seen the cover? What did you expect? A joke. Do you know what the cover looks like? I thought it was a joke. This looks like the kind of book that, like, you know, old housewives read after they're, you know, I don't know. This is no joke. Oh my goodness. J.C. Lewis knew what he was. I mean, I know that. I know that J.C. Lewis knows what he's doing, but I didn't think that they were going to go into the other implications of that. You know what I mean? Have you ever read one of those housewife books? They're raunchy? No, I don't read. The only thing I read are contracts. You should have a chat with Serena from V4. Serena. Somebody ask Serena right now. Serena, you want to come on and read? Okay, I'm just going to skip through the other parts, okay? We're in chapter 2. It'll be fine. Basically, I am invested in the story. I mean, not the, you know, I'm not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. I'm just not. I mean, I like watching movies about aliens invading Earth, but that doesn't mean I want to, you know, do anything to a little green man or woman. But if I did, it would definitely be an alien woman, not an alien man. Unless, you know, they have different parts on a woman. Dude, what the heck is this guy? This guy is the most annoying. This guy is the most. It's worse for him to say all this than to just simply, you know what I mean? Like, this is weird.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
you
honored that
should
somebody
not
is
make it
reading
like
my
that.
magnum opus on stream. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves.
Oh my god. Thank you so much, JC Lewis. Thank you. I really appreciate you tipping. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I'm so honored that somebody's reading my magnum opus on stream. I hope you're all enjoying yourself. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my god. What was I saying? Ah, shoot. What am I saying? What was I saying? Okay, I'm reading. Like, Like, I dislike that he feels the need to be like, not that there's anything wrong with it, you know? I mean, I like aliens, right? I like watching, you know, aliens invading Earth. Doesn't mean I want an alien. But I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it. But if I did, it would be a woman alien, right? Like, it's just so much worse. It makes it so much worse. It makes it so much more homophobic for you to say, not that there's anything wrong with it, bro. You know what I mean? Okay. My phone buzzes again with another text from Craig, whining about how I'm not there to play wingman to his drunken idiot as he tries to hit on random Delta Phi's he doesn't have a chance in hell with. I groan, setting the book aside and shooting him a text to tell him to keep his panties on and I'll be there in 10. To be fair, it's really not like me to miss a kegger, and as tempted as I am to stay home and sit this one out, I can't justify it to myself, even if no one else would find out why. You guys think I'm the type to have joined any of those social clubs? I'll just show up to the party, grab a few beers, and then sneak away to the back deck for some alone time with my new best friend, Catalina, and her freaky werewolf boyfriend. I unplug my phone from the charger, throw it in my pocket, and grab my keys. It's time to get this party started. It's raining by the time I get outside, which is nothing new in this fucking town. So I tuck the borrowed book into my jacket for safekeeping. The last thing I need is Devin bitching at me for getting his book soaked. I jumped into my truck and start the engine, cranking the heat and turning on the wipers. The roads are slick with rain, but I'm getting used to driving in these conditions. See, this is how you know this is the start of, like, the isekai. Like, oh man, it's raining while I'm driving in dangerous conditions. You know what I mean? I switch on the radio, blasting my favorite tunes as I cruise down the street, with the monotony of the rain pitter-pattering against my windshield and the music lulling me into a daze. I don't notice the car coming toward me is driving on the wrong side of the road until it's too late. Yeah, see, what did I say? What did I say? What the heck did I say? Huh? What's the Ford F-150 meme again? There's a, how, have you ever, have you ever, right? Have you ever read an ABO book and realized that you actually care about the crazy books and you continue to battle your demons, you know, against homophobia, except it makes you sound a little bit more homophobic for that reason? Well, that's how it feels to drive a Ford F-150. So stupid. Oh my gosh, okay. The sudden impact throws me hard against my seatbelt. The airbag deploys with a loud bang, momentarily blinding me and knocking the wind out of me. My truck spins out of control for what seems like an eternity before finally coming to a stop. Spots swim before my eyes as I hear a voice shouting something I can't make out. The light from the jackass's headlights is painful, and I squeeze my eyes shut, but it doesn't stop. My world continues to spin and the darkness becomes more insistent until I know the only way to escape is to close my eyes and succumb to it. There are only two thoughts in my brain as I lose my grip on consciousness. The first is regret that sets in immediately as I realize the last time I saw my brother, we got into a stupid fight over a stupid book. And the second is that I'm never going to get to find out how that stupid book ends. Wow, he cares too much. He cares too much. He cares too much. He cares. Okay. Chapter 3. Still from Brad's perspective. I slowly blink my eyes open and stare in confusion at the cracked pavement beneath me. The overhead lights are obscured by the rain, but a dim glow comes from the street lamp across the street. I hear the distinct sound of raindrops tapping against the pavement, and I blink again as one lands right in my damn eye. Where am I? What the fuck happened? As I take in my surroundings, it slowly dawns on me. I'm laying next to a car I don't recognize on a street I don't know. My memory quickly comes back, but now my current circumstances make even less sense. Wait, how am I still alive? I got hit head on by a car that had to be going a solid 60 at least. There's no sign of the car that hit me, though. There's no sign of the car that hit me, though. Or my truck. It's this unremarkable sedan on the side of the road. Is this supposed to be set, like, you know, in Forks, Washington? I haul myself to my feet, dizzy but miraculously unhurt as far as I can tell. A quick rifle through the sedan's various compartments reveals there's no sign of my phone either. I get back into the car, even though the idea of going away for Grand Theft Auto is not my idea of a fun Friday evening, but what choice do I really have? I turn the key in the ignition, but the engine won't turn over. Shit. I pop the hood and get out to inspect it, but while I'm perfectly at home in a good old-fashioned muscle cars innards, I've never even seen this make and model. There's nothing that jumps out at me as being the reason the car won't start. There's nothing on the hood or on the interior of the car that even indicates who made it. There has to be some kind of custom build, as shitty as it is. That's when it hits me. I have no choice but to walk if I want to find help. That's amazing. It's because they never talk about the make and the model of a car inside of like a book, because then you have like copyright issues as well with that. So I love that technically he's isekai'd and he can't help himself because of something as simple as like a book copyright issue. That's when it hits me. I have no choice but to walk if I want to find help. The rain is coming down harder now, and I'm already soaked by the time I reach the nearest crossroads. The night sky is full of stars, and a half moon hangs low in the sky, providing a little light as I trudge through mud and puddles. There's not a single damn car on this country road. How the hell did I even get out here? Pretty sure the campus is nowhere near, considering how many stars I can see in the sky despite the rain clouds masking half of it. Devin is probably having a meltdown by now. I feel a twinge of guilt for the rate. How does he not question, like, his surroundings, right? I mean, I know he's questioning it, but, like, he should be panicking way more, having checked and seen nothing that he recognizes at all. I feel a twinge of guilt for the way things ended between us. I have no idea how I'm alive or what the fuck is going on. But I do know the first thing I'm going to do when I see him again is apologize. I spot a flicker of light up ahead off a dirt road. I make my way towards it, and as I get closer, I can make out the outline of a building. It's an old-fashioned looking tavern, and there's a big neon sign out front labeled Dusty's. Hey, isn't that the name of the bar where the heroine met the werewolf in that book? I let out a dry chuckle. Great. I'm hallucinating now. Or dreaming. I'm really not sure which is worse. I take a deep breath and push open the door, feeling an odd sense of comfort wash over me when I step inside the cozy atmosphere of Dusty's. The bar is packed, and I'm pretty sure that every resident in wherever the fuck this is somehow here. I sure as hell don't recognize a single one of them. I make my way up to the bar and take a seat, feeling a little more at ease when I catch sight of the bartender. He's an older man with kind eyes, and he looks at me with a gentle smile as I approach him. What can I get you, son? He asks in a thick southern accent. Actually, I'm kind of lost, I reply, embarrassed. I don't suppose you know where I am? He looks at me confusedly for a moment before replying. You're in Heartland, son, he says with a chuckle. Of course, I'm dreaming I'm in the same town from that damn book. Wonder when the eyefucker's gonna show up. The bartender notices my distress and sets a glass of whiskey in front of me. Ooh, what kind of whiskey? Bourbon? Here you go. Looks like you could use a drink. Thanks, I say, fishing into my pocket to make sure my wallet hasn't done a disappearing act too. This might be a dream, but I really don't want to spend the night washing dream dishes. I take a sip and he smiles at me knowingly. Now, why don't you tell me what brought you here tonight? He says with a twinkle in his eye. Lived on this planet for 22. Oh, you're only 22. God bless. I've lived on this planet for 22 fucking years and I've never seen someone's eyes twinkle. Something is very, very wrong with this place. Just needed to get out of the rain, I guess. Bourbon sounds good right now at 8 in the morning. Wake up in the morning drinking whiskey. Yep, that's it. He seems about to say something when a customer hollers at him from further down the bar. Already 3 sheets to the wind. Pardon me, he said, before going to attend to the man's rowdy group. I take a few gulps of beer to steady my nerves. Once the bartender comes back over to my end of the bar, I nod to him. Hey, mister, you got a phone I could use? I lost my cell. Your cell? He echoes, tilting his head in confusion. Shit, forgot. The book is set in the early 80s for some reason. Probably so the author can get away with lazy plot devices that the character can't settle by just making a 2-second phone call. True and real. And also, I will be right back. I need to go grab something. I got myself some hot chips. I hope you don't mind. It seems like a very casual stream today, so I got myself some hot chips. Okay. Never mind, I sigh. So phone back there, he says, nodding towards the hallway on the other side of the bar. Thanks, I say, dropping a 5 to cover my beer, even though it's probably only 10 fucking cents in this era. I slide out the stool and walk down the hall where I find a payphone waiting outside the bathroom. Good luck on your surgery, Rose. It's gonna go great. Haven't seen one of these in a long time. I remember the last time was at a Walmart in Tucson. During the cross-country road trip I dragged Devin on to celebrate our high school graduation. He made me take a picture of him standing next to it, like it was a damn tourist attraction. I pick up the phone and dial Devin's number, which gives me hope since I usually can't figure out how to dial a number in a dream. But all I get is a disconnected tone. My heart sinks. That's not possible. Not if I'm in the real world, which means... Shit! What the hell am I supposed to do now? My head is spinning. I go into the bathroom to splash some cold water on my face and try to calm down. So I'm in a dream. All that means is I have to wake up eventually. And I might as well enjoy myself in the meantime. Okay? When I leave the bathroom, I look around the bar and take in the sights and sounds of this strange place. The music is old school country with a twangy fiddle that almost makes me want to dance. Would that be you? Would you guys do that? Like if you like found yourself like this, would you continue to like try and get out as soon as possible or panic, or do you think you also would just enjoy? Because realistically, I probably wouldn't have even tried to call. There's been multiple times where I have been, has anybody had this, the lucid dreaming, where you're dreaming, then you wake up while you're dreaming, or like you noticed or know that you're dreaming, so you decide to just make your dream as you want? There's been times, I remember one specific one. I remember that I realized I was dreaming. So I dreamt up, I like forced myself to dream up a bunch of puppies. I really want to lucid dream more, but I can't. It just happens. I know, isn't that so cute? I dreamt of a bunch of puppies just hanging out. Hi there, honey bunny. You rarely dream. Man, I love dreams. I don't get nightmares often. I think I get too tired to get nightmares, but I love dreams. I love it when my brain is trying to tell me things. So if anybody knows how to get into lucid dreaming more often, let me know, because I'm interested. I'm sorry. You're gonna get casual chewing now. The walls are adorned with photos of old cowboy stars, and every now and then someone will break out into a honky-tonk tune. The people here are friendly and welcoming, sipping drinks at the bar or playing cards at the tables. Some of them even give me a nod when I pass by, as if they've seen me around before, even though there's no way that's possible. Where the fuck is Heartland again? Pretty sure it's in Texas in the book. So I guess it's true what they say about people being friendlier down here. If I were back in Massachusetts, I'd have been flipped off 6 times by now, minimum. I don't think I dream much, but when I do, it's weirdly immersive and speaks to my thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Because isn't a dream supposed to be your brain telling you things? Oh. So when I have lucid dreaming, I'm usually like exhausted or stressed. Is that what it is, Tons? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm snacking. That's why they're called mass. I've never heard of Massachusetts. I've never heard of Massachusetts mass holes. There's an empty pool table across the room. So I figure, what the hell? Why not? I grab a pool cue. Man, I want to go play pool. I grab a pool cue and start lining up my shots. It's kind of nice to have something to distract me from the weirdness of this place. I eventually find myself in the middle of a game with 2 other guys, both local regulars who seem amused by my presence but don't ask too many questions. We shoot the shit, and whenever I make a slip up that makes it clear I'm not from around here or from this time, they're drunk enough they just shrug it off. One of them even buys me another round of beer. I'm having fun, all things considered, but it occurs to me that if I am in some kind of lucid dream, I'm probably wasting my time by doing something so mundane. Then I remember there's a karaoke machine across the room. So I go up and start singing My Way, which is something I'd never do back home. But what the hell? It's a dream. This is my favorite thing. Oh man, he's having a good time. I love, yeah, this is a dream. It doesn't matter. And then they just do the thing that they want. And they're like, oh shoot. How's my nom tracking? Like, how is it doing that? Or how does it, what? Which My Way, though? I honestly have no idea. They didn't say which one. And maybe that's on purpose. Are you good at pool or darts, Maeve? No. No. But I like to play pool. I like to play pool. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Am I good? I'm not the best, like, because I'm trying to think of maybe cards even. Like, would I be good at cards? No. I'm not good at cards, pool, or darts. But I'm really good at drinking games. So, I'm having a blast and everyone loves it. When someone comes in and belts out classic tunes like this one. It's gotta be Frank Sinatra. He said it's a classic tune. As I finish the song, there are whistles and claps from all over the bar. Even the bartender's eyes are twinklier. Definitely a main character moment for me. That's when I notice the door open and in walks a familiar face. Raoul. He looks exactly like he did in my Mind movie, with the same dark eyes, wavy black hair, and sun-kissed skin. Unlike all the other schmucks in here who are wearing flannel, jeans, and cowboy boots. He's dressed in a sleek black suit that looks like it cost a small fortune. His eyes are solid gold, so sharp they could cut diamond. They're looking right at me, like he's trying to stab me with his pupils or some shit. The intensity of his stare is unsettling, to say the least. I'm pretty sure I've never looked at anything or anyone that way. Except maybe a 20-ounce sirloin at Longhorn. Nice. Steak. I love steak. I look over my shoulder instinctively, half expecting the heroine with the magical werewolf pussy to be standing behind me. When I realize that nope, it's just me, and the weird ghostly cutouts of Frank Sinatra that are floating by on the karaoke screen as the song replays itself. This goes from awkward to hell fucking no real fast. Here, I say, shoving the microphone into the hand of the nearest drunk before I sprint off the stage. No way I'm sticking around for this shit. I wanted to finish the book, not live in it. That's what I get for reading. I'm sticking to action movies with oily, shirtless dudes in WWE from now on. Nothing good ever comes from literature. This is such a stupid book. Oh my god, I love it. That's what I get. That's what you get for reading. God. Being stuck in an action movie is not better, bro. Neither is WWE. Okay, you're gonna get your ass beat. Yeah. Chapter 4. Still Brett's perspective. I'm halfway to the door when Mr. Knife Eyes intercepts me. Ooh, coming out of nowhere. How the hell have these bumpkins not figured out he's a werewolf by now if he's teleporting all over the damn place like a complete weirdo? You there, he says, putting his hand out to stop me. It rests against my chest. And while I really don't like being touched by strangers, I'm not expecting the way my heart thumps against the wall of my chest. Though like it's trying to get out. Oh. And while I really don't like being touched by strangers, I'm not expecting the way my heart thumps against the wall of my chest like it's trying to get out. What the hell? I thought that line was just an exaggeration. That or the heroine has undiagnosed POTS? What is that? Why the fuck am I feeling this shit? Am I? No. I'm not even gonna entertain that thought. You got a problem, buddy? I ask, taking his hand and pushing it off my chest. I try to ignore the literal spark that runs through my fingers at the touch. Oh my goodness, he has literal sparks. Just static shock, that's all. Raoul gives me a long measured look. His gaze is so intense I can almost feel it burning my skin. I feel a weird heat rising to my cheeks, but I shut that shit down real fast. Biofeedback, baby. If I can push through the pain of 100-pound bicep curls, I can keep myself from blushing. Oh my goodness, he's blushing? Dude, that's crazy though, that in his brain, he's like, yeah, I don't really know what the hell is going on, but my body is telling me that he likes this guy. Who are you? He asks, his voice low and menacing. The kind of voice that makes you want to turn tail and run like a dog with its tail between its legs. Nah. Not gonna back down. This asshole might be an alpha wolf, but I'm the vice pres of my fraternity, and Kappa News don't run. You're only the vice pres, dude. I look him right in the eye and square my shoulders, meeting his intensity with my own brand of defiance. I'm nobody, I reply, the bravado in my voice almost convincing myself it's true. Nobody you need to worry about anyway. He frowns, and I can tell my answer didn't satisfy him. I'm sure he's used to people cowering in the face of his alpha wolfness, and I'm not about to give him that satisfaction. He steps closer. So close, I can smell the musky scent of his aftershave and see the flecks of goldier gold in his eyes. Wait, when the fuck have I ever noticed someone's musky scent if it wasn't Steve stinking up the frat house after a workout? Yo, what's wrong with Steve? Why do you keep messing with Steve? Why do you keep calling Steve out, huh? He sets one hand on my shoulder, like he's trying to keep me in place, but all it does is make my heart beat faster. Sure about that? You murmur softly, and before I know what's happening, I feel another strange sensation washing through me, like I'm a t-shirt fresh out of the dryer, all cozy and limp and staticky. My bones seem to forget they're rigged up to my muscles, and my skin hums where he's touching me. Oh, it's like a rush of heat and electricity that starts in his hand and shoots through me from head to toe, leaving me feeling extremely, or strangely, calm. He must feel it too, because he pulls his hand away fast, like he's been burned. Gotta get this blasting on the speakers and all that. I stand there for a moment, stunned by what just happened. I'm not sure if I should be scared, pissed. What did you do? I blurt out before I can stop myself, my voice unsteady. Raoul stares back at me with an expression that's hard to read. He looks almost afraid. It's you, he says quietly, and I get the feeling he's talking more to himself than me. Who? I ask anyway. He's not even touching me, but I find myself frozen. Like my shoes are melting into the floor and I can't bring myself to look away from him. It's a struggle just to remember how to blink, and my eyes feel dry from doing it way too little. What the fuck is wrong with me? You're in love. That's the fuck is wrong with you. He opens his mouth as if to answer, but seems to think better of it. I let out a breath, and I hadn't realized I was holding. Who does that? Me, apparently. Oh my god. I had to get out of this place. Wait! Raoul calls after me as I make a beeline for the front door. I ignore him and keep walking. I don't need to know who he thinks I am or what weird force just seemed to connect us. All I know is that something very strange just happened, and it's freaking me out. Even if this is all a dream. No, especially then. I keep walking faster and faster until I'm running through a parking lot that's really just a big patch of gravel where the townies park their dirty pickup trucks and motorcycles. And there's a white fucking Ferrari sitting in the back of the lot. Wonder who that belongs to. Yeah, wonder who that belongs to. Huh, buddy? I wonder if the one dude who comes in wearing a 3-piece suit has a fucking white Ferrari. I'm tempted to kick up a bunch of gravel onto it, but I don't want to waste the time when I hear someone following close behind me. This is deja vu in the worst kind of way. It's not exactly like the book, I remind myself. I didn't get pinned against the wall by some asshole with a tiny dick complex. That's 1 point for me for not being stuck in the literal book. Just my brain's fucked up version of it. So what we're saying is, or what he's saying is that he actually does believe that he's stuck in this book somehow, right? Like by dream. How long can a dream last? I venture a glance over my shoulder and, to my relief, there's no sign of the werewolf creep. My relief is short-lived though, when I collide with someone I'm pretty fucking sure wasn't there a second ago. Hey, watch it, asshole! The guy bellows. He's tall and thin, with greasy hair and a green plaid shirt, just like the asshole who pinned Catalina in the book was described. Son of a bitch. There are 3 men around him loitering on the curb, and they all come around to flank him, like it's some cheesy 80s gang movie. They're about to start snapping and having a dance-off. That was not in the book. I'm just messing around. I'm fully expecting them all to start snapping to the same rhythm and busting out show tunes. The greasy douchebag shoves into my chest. Wait, okay, so I pretty much was close. I pretty much was very close. Man, I'm writing this book. I actually wrote this book, you guys. Just kidding. Elsie Jason, JC Lewis. There have been entirely too many strangers' hands on my pecs this evening for my liking. You got a problem, buddy? He demands. echoing my own words too closely for comfort. Do I sound like that? Yeah, I got a problem, I answer. Elsie Davis, thank you, Remblanc. Ever heard of Head and Shoulders? Because I'm thinking you should buy some stock before you single-handedly grease up the Atlantic Ocean. He screws his face up in confusion. Huh? I think this guy's calling you a greaseball, Jerry. The guy to my right says helpfully. Jerry squints at me and takes a switchblade out of his pocket, flicking it open. Maybe it was a bad idea to antagonize him. Nah, scratch that. It's my dream, and I could use a punching bag to take some feelings out on. Uh-oh. Even if I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to wash my hands with straight lye afterward. I've taken enough bullshit tonight, and this guy's going down. I kick his arm away and grab his wrist, twisting it around until he drops the blade and it clatters onto the pavement. I step up to him, ready to deliver a swift punch to his face, but Raoul appears out of nowhere and grabs the guy by the back of the head, flinging him across the lot like he's a rag doll. Jerry's face plows right into the gravel, and he skids a few feet. Ah, that's gonna leave a mark. Before I can do anything, Raoul grabs the other one by the front of the shirt and hauls him off the ground. Is this how you spend your nights? He demands, threatening people weaker than you? The guy's squirming and thrashing to get away, but he stops to look at me, then back at Raoul, then back at me again, and squints in confusion. Huh? Bro, he's more jacked than me, man! It's a fair point, but not one Raoul seemed interested in considering. He throws the guy back, and they all take off running, Jerry included. Raoul turns to me then, his face grim as he looks me over for any signs of injury. Are you all right? He asks. His voice is gruff, but his eyes are gentle and concerned as he reaches out and tries to touch my cheek. Oh, man, for someone to touch my cheek. I bat his hand away. I was doing just fine until you showed up. Did you not get the hint when I left the bar? He frowns, as if I'm the one being unreasonable. You shouldn't be out here on your own. It's not safe. Hello? I gesture to myself up and down in hopes of breaking whatever spell he's under that seems to have given him the impression that I'm some tiny little werewolf girl and not a 6'2", 230-pound linebacker. Do I look like I need your protection? Do I look like I need your protection? His brow furrows, and he seems to be considering my words, even if he's having trouble computing them. And here I thought this guy was supposed to be some kind of genius / musician / werewolf sex god. Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot, he begins, offering his hand. Oh, the dude's small. Is he? 6'2"? In what world? You need my protection, Maeve. You're just a helpless little silly. Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot. He begins, offering his hand. Let's start over. Hey, fun time, Freddy. Oh, I see. I see, Ishtar. Thank you. Oh no, I say, holding up my hands and backing up. I've had enough shocks and weird mind melding for one night. Thank you very much. I'm not interested in getting off on anything with any body part of yours. Raoul frowns harder. What? Nothing, I mutter, pinching the bridge of my nose. What is wrong with my gutter mind? This guy of all people shouldn't be capable of sending my thoughts down it. Sorry. Freudian slip, my bad. Ah. Are you sure you're all right? He asks, concern ebbing into his voice once more. It's low and silken, and it has a strange effect on me. Like a warm blanket wrapping around me and squeezing tight. Actually, let me just... Are you sure you're all right? Thank you. That was necessary for me. I shake my head and turn away from him, walking toward the bus stop, where I was heading before Jerry and his friends decided to mess with me. Wait! Raul calls out to me, behind me. Where are you going? Anywhere but here. With you. I reply without looking back at him. He follows me anyway. Of course he does. You can't leave. I spin around on him and he doesn't seem to expect that, stopping short. Why the hell not? I bark. He blinks slowly at me and puts his hand out like I'm a fucking horse having a mental breakdown. Or a meltdown. Just calm down. He says that in low, easy tone that sends another surge of warmth through my chest. Just calm down. Is that the shit you say to Catalina whenever she's pissed? I snap. Because even I know better than that, dude. Relationships 101. Never tell someone who's mad to calm down unless you want to get neutered. He just stares at me blankly for a few seconds. Who is Catalina? Okay, now I'm pissed. I'm sorry, who is Catalina? I echo. She's just the woman you've been waiting your whole life to find. I guess that whole lightning striking the center of your chest thing when you first laid eyes on her was bullshit, huh, Raul? Now he's looking at me like I'm certifiably insane. And I'm standing here in the rain, arguing with a figment of someone else's imagination. So, maybe I am. I'm sorry, but I really have no idea who you're talking about. And how'd you know my name? Shit. I'll ask the questions here, asshole, I say, not about to let him turn this thing around on me. You're the one who's acting like a stalker. He sighs, and I love that he's just like, no, you're the freak. He's just saying whatever he thinks out loud. He sighs in resignation. There's a good reason for that. Maybe you'll just let me take you somewhere. We can talk. I'll be more than happy to explain. Right. Because getting in cars with strangers to drive to undisclosed locations is very safe. I'm not a stranger if you know my name. Ooh! I'm not a stranger if you know my name. Oh god. I kind of love Raul. I'm not gonna lie. Touché. Besides, I know what I felt back there. And I know you felt it too. I grit my teeth. Let's pretend for a second I do know what you're talking about. And I don't think you're crazy. What was that? Raul pauses. And I can't tell if it's because he's bluffing about knowing what it was, or because he just isn't sure how to tell me, or if he wants to. It was a bond. A bond, I echo. What the hell is that supposed to mean? It means we're connected, he answers. By fate. Fate, I say flatly. Like the little pointy fuckers from Hercules? No, Raul says, sighing. Look, I'll answer all your questions. Would you please at least come back inside with me? I'll buy you a drink and... You're buying, huh? I interrupt, clapping him on the shoulder so hard he staggers. Them's the magic words, buddy. Luckily, this time, there are no magical zaps or warm fuzzies. Raul looks bewildered as he turns to follow me back inside the warmth of the bar. The thing is, I do want answers, and after all this shit, I could definitely use another drink. We've done it! We've gotten to him meeting Raul and such. Whoa. Oh my god. It's getting spicy. Okay, I think we have maybe, depending on the chapter, we have time for one more chapter. Chapter 5. Oh, it's Raoul's perspective. Raoul's first perspective. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. We take a seat at a booth in the back of the bar, which isn't quite as packed as I was earlier. It's still full enough that I can barely breathe through the stench of humans and cheap beer. Usually, I can't stand the way they smell, but the man in front of me is a notable exception. He smells like pine and wood and something uniquely him. Something uniquely masculine. That alone should be off-putting, but isn't. Neither is the fact that somehow, despite what I know I felt, he is human. And he is also, paradoxically, an Omega. Strangest Omega I have ever encountered, without a doubt. But definitely an Omega. Damn, Brad is getting dragged for filth. Definitely an Omega. And he's my Omega. Oh, lordy. My Omega, who is currently downing his 4th beer like it's water as he leans over the table, taking up most of the booth across from me with this huge frame. Hell, I'm not even sure a human is supposed to drink that much water, let alone alcohol. Can we talk now? I ask hopefully, since he seems a bit less angry. Usually humans tiptoe around werewolves, not the other way around. Maybe he has some latent or latent shifter blood I just can't sense. That would explain a lot. Not everything, but a lot. Yeah, sure. Knock yourself out, he mutters, leaning back against the padded booth. He doesn't seem even slightly buzzed, which is an impressive feat even for someone his size. I'm used to towering over humans at 6'7". Wow, so they had to make 6'7" and 6'2". What is the unrealistic body expectations here? But this one is only 5 inches shorter than me, give or take. He's also built like a linebacker. Not only is he not a woman, he's the most masculine human I've ever met. But that doesn't stop me from thinking he's the most gorgeous person I've ever seen of any species. Oof. Whoa, my heart. This is a human I can appreciate. He stands out in any crowd. His hulking, muscular frame and his wild, wavy brown hair. So light it looks good under the... It looks so light it looks gold under the bar lights. He has strong, handsome features with a straight nose and a square jaw, dotted with a scrape of stubble. His full lips provide... His full lips provide just a hint of softness that makes the full picture of his face beauty to behold, even if it is a masculine kind of beauty. You can be beauty, and you can be beautiful and masculine. You can just be masculine. Or you can just be beautiful. He's wearing a black polo shirt with a logo I can't quite make out, and denim jeans. Those jeans could double as a work of art, considering how nicely they hug his muscular, perfectly round ass. An ass I can't stop staring at and imagining, other things. It occurs to me, I'm skipping that whole line. It occurs to me that I don't even know if he's gay. Hell, I'm not gay. That doesn't mean I wouldn't take him out behind the bar and meet him nicely. I'm sorry, I'm like pre-reading it. Let's start with the basics, I say. You already know my name. What's yours? Brad Miller, he answers, hiccuping as he takes another swig of beer. My god, he is so enchanting. Wait. The line literally, okay. I need to reread this really quick. Let's start with the basics. I say, you already know my name, so what's yours? Brad Miller. He answers, hiccuping as he takes another swig of beer. My God, he's so enchanting. Bro. Brad Miller, I murmur, mulling over the subtle poetry of his name. That's a name I could growl. The Brad part, at least. Miller might be a bit awkward. How lovely. He stares at me like I'm the dirt in the treads of his shoes. Back to that bonding shit you were on about earlier. Right. Say, clearing my throat. Time to get back on track. I don't know how much you're aware of, so I guess I'll start from the beginning. I'm a werewolf, he interrupts, waving me off with a hand that's sporting a big gaudy ring on the middle finger with a huge red stone in the center. Looks like the kind of ring a vampire who belongs to a coven would wear, but I can't imagine what he'd be doing with one. Yeah, I know all about that shit. So you aren't human, I say, frowning. Never said that. Then how would you know what I was? I ask. My size and energy are usually dead giveaways to anyone in the know, and vampires usually take one look at me before skittering off, but even an alpha werewolf isn't so different at first glance that an unsuspecting human would be able to pick him out as inhuman. Let's just say I've been reading a lot, he says, cryptically. He becomes more fascinating with each fact I unearth about him. I find myself leaning in, eager to breathe in more of his intoxicating scent. Never thought I would find the scent of pine and man so appealing. So you know about wolves and vampires, I assume. Yep, he says, unceremoniously. I know all about those toothy little fuckers. Don't know why you don't just carry around a crossbow loaded with stakes all the time, with how often they end up kidnapping your girl. My girl? I echo with a frown. This is the second time he's made allusions to that effect, but I haven't taken a lover in months. As rare as Omegas are, there are still plenty who are more than willing to lend themselves to an alpha in rut. But I haven't had the time for such things with the war escalating. Oh, of course there's a war. Of course there is. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have a mate. At least, I didn't. Not until he came along. But he isn't ready for that truth just yet. Dude, could you This makes me feel like whenever whenever I'm somewhere and there's like a really good looking server or something, and just in my mind I'm like, yeah, it would be very, I would be able to see the rest of my life with this person, right? And this person, just no idea, and I'm so sorry. Seriously? His brow furrows, as if this troubles him greatly. You're telling me you've never met a chick named Catalina Evergreen? Spends a lot of time thinking about how she's only 5'5", and you tower over her? Petite, but curvy, long brown hair. Thinks she's plain, but is actually catnip to werewolves. None of this rings a bell? Catalina. My nose wrinkles. That's not a very growlable name at all. Not like Brad. Isn't that a salad dressing? Have you seen that video where the dad tells her his daughter thinks he's cute? Well, she's, yeah. Absolutely, I have. I would ruin people if that were to happen to me. He just sighs, running a hand down his face. Never mind. You know about omegas, then? I ask. Sure I do, he says, waving his hand dismissively. Submissive, doe-eyed little werewolves with daddy issues and tight pussies that put off magical pheromones once a month that drive you and all the other alphas batshit. So the vamps are always trying to take them like some fucked up game of capture the flag. Can't say I've ever heard it put quite like that, but I guess you got the gist. Say awkwardly. Bonding with an omega grants an alpha more power, so they're highly coveted. They do go into heat, but they can be any gender. Huh, he says, frowning harder. Guess I didn't get to that part yet. What? Nothing. Brad leans in, folding his arms on the table in front of him. So, what's this bonding bullshit all about? I hesitate, because this is where I have to tread carefully. The last thing I want is him running off on me again before I've even gotten the chance to tell him who he is to me. He may be sturdier than the other omegas, but he's still human as far as I can tell. And while I would rather him come with me willingly, I'll force him if I have to. Oh, ew. Gross. Something that happens when an alpha encounters his true mate for the first time. I begin, choosing my words with great precision. I can tell from the wariness in his eyes that I haven't chosen them quite carefully enough. It's a feeling that washes over you. Warmth and electricity. A deep, innate sense of knowing. Belonging that makes everything and everyone else seem like nothing in comparison. He grows more apprehensive as I speak. I can hear his heart quickening. It's such a strong, steady rhythm. Roommate, he says in a derisive tone. You mean an omega? Yes, answer. Once upon a time, every alpha had his perfect match, but these days it's exceedingly rare. Omegas aren't born as often as they used to be, and with the war, they're more vulnerable than ever. We have to do our best to keep them sheltered, protected. But things happen. You mean they get knocked off by vampires treating them like a pigskin in the 4th quarter? He says. I blink. Yes. I think. You don't need to worry about any of that, I say, reaching for his hand instinctively. I would never let any harm come to you. When he yanks his hand away, I know I've made a mistake. I can't fully control myself where he's concerned. It's something I've always judged the other alphas for. Regardless of gender, they act like they're coming unglued the moment they catch the scent of an omega in heat. I don't even have that excuse, because he certainly isn't in heat. I'm sure if I made any attempt to touch him again, he'd sooner bite my hand off than let me. I find that makes me want him even more than I already do. What is happening to me? Me? He balks. I ain't no fucking omega, bro. Here we go. Time to backtrack, because he clearly isn't ready for this. I just meant because you're human. At least as far as I can tell. Of course I'm human, growls, as if the implication otherwise is a great insult to him. And I don't need some werewolf weirdo to protect me, even if this shit wasn't a dream. Dream? I stare at him for a moment. What do you mean? His expression falls, like he didn't mean to say that, which is curious. He seems to be warring with himself for a few seconds before he heaves a big sigh and says, you know what? Fuck it. I know you're not supposed to tell dream people you're in a dream or whatever, but I'm already stuck, so it can't do that much harm. I'm sorry, are you telling me you think you're dreaming all this? I ask warily. Buddy, I know I'm dreaming, he says, jabbing a finger at me before he downs the rest of his beer. Maybe you should slow down a bit, I say. Maybe he's more affected by the alcohol than he seems. Omegas are more sensitive to that kind of thing, even if he is built like a damn house. I don't want you getting sick. I know that was a mistake too, when I see the murderous look he's giving me, as if I've just fucked his mother on his father's grave. Jesus, what is with these people and why do they speak like this? Sick? You think I'm too weak to handle a few beers? He demands in a tone of great offense. I hold my hands up in surrender. No, of course not. I can only stare in awe as Brad steals my beer from the table in front of me, guzzling it down without pausing and making frigid eye contact the entire time, as if to assert dominance. He slams the empty glass down on the table and says, I'll drink you under the table anytime, anywhere, you flea-bitten mofo. So he's afraid to say motherfucker, but he's not afraid to say other things? Okay. All I can do is gaze at him, a strange warmth stirring in my chest. You are a charming creature, Brad. Oh, yeah. His face contorts in disgust. Actually, okay. His face contorts in disgust, and he pushes up from the table. He struggles to leave the booth in his haste, considering it clearly isn't designed for someone so built, but he manages. I'm done with this shit, he says gruffly, shuffling toward the door. He isn't as quick anymore, and I can tell the alcohol's finally started taking its toll. Good. Maybe now he'll be easier to catch. Something tells me he's not going to be any more agreeable as a drunk, though. I throw a few bills on the table, more than enough to cover the tab. Follow him out into the rain, which has only gained strength since we've been inside. Brad, wait! I call after him, my voice barely audible over the thundering sound of the storm. I almost can't believe it when he stops, turning his bleary eyes toward me with an expression that's hard to read. I can almost see the battle raging inside his head, the battle between being a tough guy and being smart. Eventually, he takes a step toward me. I don't know what you think this is, but let's get a few things straight, he growls, his eyes blazing at me as he stares me down through torrents of rain. I'm not weak. I don't need your protection. I'm not a damn Omega, and I sure as fuck am not your mate. Got it? The only one of those things I can agree to is the fact that he certainly isn't weak. But while the idea of starting out lying to my mate doesn't appeal to me, I can tell this isn't a war I'm going to win tonight. Just getting him to swallow his pride enough to get out of the rain is going to be enough of a battle. Got it, I say, holding my hands up in surrender. Just let me give you a ride home, at least. When he falls silent, I know something's wrong. He looks away and I realize he's embarrassed. Or maybe scared. You don't have a place to go, do you? I ask quietly, my heart breaking at the thought. I can tell he's uncomfortable with his jaw when his jaw tightens and he takes another step away from me. I have a fucking apartment, he snaps. Just not here. Oof! Ooh, ooh. Then you can stay with me, I say immediately. Just for the night, if that's what you want. We can talk about it in the morning. Brad glares at me, then up at the sky, as if he's finally noticed the terrible weather. Even I don't like being out in this shit in my human form, although it wouldn't stop me as a wolf. Fine. Just for the night. With that, he turns and stomps through the wet gravel toward my car. It takes everything in me not to reach for his door, only because I'm sure that would send him spiraling again. How did you know which car was mine? I ask, getting in on the driver's side. He gives me a look. It was obvious. I'm not sure what to make of that, but I pull onto the road and turn on the heat, since we're both soaked clean through our clothes by this point. Brad says nothing else as we drive, and while there are a million questions I want to ask him, I manage to resist. The moment I laid eyes on him, I knew he was something special. I knew he was mine. But it's become clear to me during the short time I've known him in that convincing him of that isn't something that's going to happen in a single night. I've never been the kind of man who shies away from a challenge, though, as rare as they are. I think I just found out that's worth the fight. Jesus. Jesus. Woo. Okay. That's enough for today. That's enough for today. Raul is in love. Raul got a whiff of the pheromones and went, jeez. Raul with the whole, I'm never letting anyone, I wouldn't let anything harm you. Oh my god. How was it? Here. I'll close this poll. And then we'll have to do a new poll, okay? Okay, there's a new poll up. This book is very funny. I'm glad you're enjoying it. While I set this up, let's see. It definitely is interesting. I don't know. I suppose I'm just really surprised by how much they spoke about it, because I thought it was supposed to, not supposed to, but I thought that it was just going to be less nodding, right? There wasn't enough, honestly. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. Okay, looks like majority is at a good 91. All right. Yeah, it seems like this isn't the type of stories where subtleties exist. Yeah, maybe we can continue it on Wednesday, and then for membership or something, we can read it with all of its fixins. This one's already tame, it seems. Okay, yeah. It looks like a majority says yes. Perfect. Okay. We'll continue to do this. Hi, Ranjihan. We'll continue to do this, but for today, I'm sorry, I am having a shorter stream. Yes, I'm sure it is. I'm having a shorter stream today. I had to wake up a little bit earlier so that I could do meetings and such. And so my timing is a little off. Maybe would you be the alpha to my omega and demand a hug from me, as is your birth? Right, pretty please? Ishtar, come give me a hug. Right now. Right now. Thank you. But look forward to tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is our first Hexakai collab, which I've been excited for and we changed over for multiple times, so. Awesome. Thank you so much. Today's was so casual. I'm so sorry. Literally, I had leftover spicy chips from yesterday, and I was like, that sounds really good right now. So I was very casual today. All we did was read. It was very comfy and cozy. All we did was read and eat hot chips. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. There is the... Did you see the thing? Did you see Seal Kisses and Ocean Wishes? Oh, how was the stream? It was fine. I censored things. Alrighty, well, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate you. And on top of that, thank you very much to my Sealies and Pennies. I am a Globie Gen 3 Hexakai's Maeve Morveren, a corporate Selkie, a corporate heiress Selkie. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Today has been a little read-along for Boys Love. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!